Red Alert: Endangered Animals Around the World by Catherine Barr, illustrated by Ann Wilson. The International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List tells us where we urgently need to do something to prevent the despoliation of this world. It is a great agenda for the work of conservationists. Sir David Attenborough. Around the world, scientists are collecting stories, facts, and figures that help us understand and care for life on Earth. Some of these scientists work together to maintain a list of endangered animals, plants, and fungi. It is known as the Red List. The list is red, the color that indicates an emergency, because many of the 80,000 species investigated so far are in danger of disappearing. The information gathered for the Red List is used to help save endangered species. The Red List team evaluates each animal on the list and assigns it a category. You'll see some of the categories mentioned in this book: extinct, extinct in the wild, critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, least concern. So let's get started. Meet the blue whale, a shadowy story. The blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth. From a boat, whale watchers catch only a blurred shadow as it disappears into deeper water. It is singing songs that echo loudly for miles around its vast ocean home, unheard by humans. Whales were once at home on land, but millions of years ago, their legs became fins, and they turned to the sea, where all life began. But this streamlined ocean giant has been hunted to the edge of extinction. Today, whale-watching tourists are lucky if they spot one at all. Facts: the blue whale swims in oceans all around the world, except the Arctic. Its song is louder than a jet engine during takeoff. It has the biggest babies on Earth, and its arteries are so big that a human toddler could crawl inside of them. Killing blue whales was banned by the International Whaling Commission in 1966. Danger: listed as endangered in the IUCN Red List. It is accidentally hit by ships. It gets tangled in fishing nets while migrating. Its food source is overfished. Save whales from fishing gear by learning more about sustainable seafood. The link is in the description. Meet the Sunda Pangolin, a shy story. The most hunted animal in the world rolls up into a ball, covering its head with its front legs. It is scared. But this one is lucky because it is rescued by a wildlife ranger from hunters who want its meat and scales. The Sunda Pangolin is shy and secretive. It shuffles around at night, sniffing out termites and ants to lap up with its long, sticky tongue. Its scales protect it from predators such as tigers, but human hunters can pick it up when it rolls into a ball. The ranger will tell people the pangolin's story. With luck, it can return to the wild. Pangolins struggle to survive away from their natural home. Facts. The Sunda Pangolin lives in grasslands and forests across Southeast Asia. Its tongue is longer than its body. Its name comes from the Malay word panguling, which means one that rolls up. It is one of the few mammals that is completely covered in scales. Danger. Listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Hunted for its meat and scales. Limited conservation funding because it is a lesser-known animal. Forest habitat threatened by human activities. Read about saving pangolins. Check out the link in the description. Meet the Panamanian golden frog. An unlucky story. Leaping across rocks beneath rushing water, a slippery yellow frog escapes the zookeeper's grasp. The zookeeper wears gloves to protect himself from the frog's poisonous skin, which it uses to escape from predators. The frog is caught and taken to a frog hotel to save it from a mysterious disease that is sweeping through the forest. It can breed safely in captivity. The Panamanian golden frog lives near waterfalls and is famous because it waves. It uses a sort of sign language to attract mates and frighten predators. It is known in Panama as a symbol of good luck, but as the mysterious fungal disease advances, the frog's luck is running out. Facts. The signals the frog uses are highly unusual in amphibians. Its skin is poisonous to humans who touch it. The Panamanian golden frog lives in the mountainous cloud forests of Panama in Central America. Danger. Listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Threatened by a fatal fungal skin disease. Destruction of its forest habitat as humans build towns and create farms. Collected and sold as pets. Pollution of its freshwater habitat. Read about the Maryland Zoo, the first to successfully breed these frogs in captivity. The link is in the description. Meet the northern Rockhopper penguin. A sketchy story. The bird with extraordinary eyebrows is hopping from rock to rock. A wildlife artist is sketching the northern Rockhopper penguin. The penguin seems angry. A bigger bird is trying to steal its eggs. Living in huge colonies, these penguins return to the nest with the same partner each year. But the wild population of this quirky bird has diminished over the past 30 years. The artist wants to capture this one's personality. Facts. Lives near the South Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Unlike other penguins, it jumps rather than waddles. It can dive up to 325 feet or 100 meters deep. Danger. Listed as endangered in the IUCN Red List. Gets caught in fishing gear, illegal collection of its eggs, Overfished food source, squid and krill. Adopt a penguin for a fee and receive updates while helping conservation efforts. The link is in the description. Meet the Gharial. A nosy story. Unable to lift its belly off the sand like other crocodiles, the enormous Gharial, or fish-eating crocodile, shuffles up the riverbank. Its razor-sharp teeth and a lump on the end of its nose. The camera clicks as the photographer captures an image of this strange-looking reptile. In fast-flowing water, these crocodiles use their slender nose to sneak up on fish. Only males have a lump on their nose, which they use to make a sound to attract females. The photographer focuses on the animal. He wants local children to see the rare river creature that lives so close to their school. Facts: Gharials live in large rivers in India and Nepal. Males grow to almost 20 feet or 6 meters long. Their snout gets longer and thinner as they get older. The lump on the male's nose is called a gara. Danger! Listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Gets tangled in fishing nets. Too little water in its river habitat before rainy season. River pollution and damming by humans. Research zoo programs that help breed gharials in captivity. The link is in the description. Meet the red-headed vulture. A meaty story. Vultures are circling above a pile of dead animals while a man watches from his truck. He has dumped fresh waste meat for the huge birds. Red-headed vultures eat the carrion, leaving a pile of clean bones. This helps stop disease. Where wild food is scarce, red-headed vultures feed on dead livestock, but a certain medicine given to cattle makes their meat poisonous to the vultures. These giant birds are dying as they feed on domestic animals. The truck driver is glad to help these birds by bringing them a healthy vulture restaurant. Facts: the red-headed vulture lives in wooded hills and dry forests across India and Southeast Asia. It helps get rid of dead animals that could spread disease to humans and other animals. Males and females both cartwheel through the air to attract a mate. Females usually lay 1 egg per year. Danger! Listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Poisoned by medicine used to treat livestock in some countries. Poisoned by chemicals used to catch fish and birds at watering holes. Loses nesting habitat because tall trees are cut for firewood. Use IUCN's matching game. Choose an animal and receive updates about how it's doing. The link is in the description. Meet the Chinese giant salamander. A slippery story. The ancestors of this huge slimy creature once swam with dinosaurs. This one lies still in a cool mountain lake. It's dusk, and the largest amphibian in the world is hiding. But before the Chinese giant salamander can ambush its prey, it is surprised by visiting scientists. Sticky goo seeps from the salamander's wrinkled skin when it's scared. The substance keeps it safe from non-human predators. But it is hunted by humans for meat, and thousands are farmed to provide expensive meals. Once the scientists have measured it, this wild one slips back to safety, finding crabs, fish, and frogs for its supper. Facts: the Chinese salamander lives in high rocky mountain streams and some lakes in China. It breathes through its skin. In Chinese, it is often called infant fish because it makes a whining, crying sound. It is the largest of all living amphibians, growing to almost 6 feet or 1.8 meters long. Danger: listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Hunted for its meat, which some consider a delicacy. Habitat threatened as trees are cut and soil creates silts in rivers. River pollution by farming chemicals. Become a wildlife champion. The link is in the description. Meet the snow leopard. A stealthy story. Dawn breaks as a snow leopard's soft gray eyes scan the snow. It flicks its tail as a cameraman stares down his lens at one of the world's rarest big cats. The leopard pads softly into focus. This mountain cat cannot roar, and it lives alone. To catch prey, it must spring into action, leaping across ledges to bring down wild sheep and goats. Because the snow leopard is so difficult to find, the cameraman, stiff with cold, is proud to have finally gotten a photograph of the secretive cat. Facts: the snow leopard lives in the steep, rocky mountains of 12 countries in Central Asia. It is sometimes called ghost of the mountains because it is shy and difficult to find. It wraps its long, thick tail around itself like a scarf and can jump like an acrobat. It can hiss, purr, and make a puffing shuff noise. Danger: changed from endangered to vulnerable on the IUCN Red List due to new population estimates, but action is still needed. Illegally hunted for its fluffy white coat. Disappearance of its habitat and prey as domestic animals graze bigger areas. Conflict with humans as hungry snow leopards steal livestock. Sign up for a newsletter at snowleopard.org. The link is in the description. Meet the Santa Catalina rattlesnake. A slinky story. Slithering from its dusty burrow at sunset, this snake has just woken up. It stretches sleepily across the path. As a woman wanders past, she almost steps on the camouflaged body. If the snake had been able to rattle, the woman might have noticed it. The Santa Catalina rattlesnake is the only rattlesnake in the world without a rattle. Each time this snake sheds its skin, The segment that would create a rattle falls off rather than staying at the end of its tail like on other rattlesnakes. Scientists believe that the snake evolved for stealth, so it can slink silently toward prey. The young tourist walks on, unaware of her close encounter with this quiet, venomous little snake. Facts: the Santa Catalina rattlesnake lives only on Isla Santa Catalina Island off the coast of Mexico. It is a stealthy hunter and is good at slithering up trees. It has a heat-sensing pit between its eyes, which helps it find warm-blooded prey. Danger! Listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Hunted and eaten by feral cats. Caught illegally and sold as pets. Limited conservation funding because of a lack of interest in snakes. Read about conservation efforts to protect all types of snakes at snakeconservation.org. The link is in the description. Meet the Hawksbill Sea Turtle, an ancient story. Leaving a trail like tire tracks, the Hawksbill Sea Turtle crawls up the beach to nest after an exhausting journey. It has crossed the ocean and is here at last to lay eggs. The eggs fall like soft balls into a hole in the sand as a scientist counts them. A tropical night breeze brushes over the turtle. It will not wait to see the young hatch and scamper towards the ocean. Many of the babies will be grabbed by gulls, and a few will survive. The scientist counts as the last eggs drop from the weary mother turtle. The scientist writes 100 in her notes. Facts: the Hawksbill sea turtle is mostly found in the warm waters of the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. It is called hawkbill because of its narrow, sharp beak. It helps keep coral reefs healthy by grazing on sponges and exposing food and shelter for other reef animals. Danger! Listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Hunted for its shell and eggs. Beach and coral reef habitats threatened by human activity and tourism. Climate change killing coral reef food sources. Gets caught in fishing gear. Read about saving these turtles and sign up to receive a newsletter. The link is in the description. Meet the Staghorn Coral, a pale story. Tipping over the edge of the dive boat, a snorkeler tumbles into the tropical water. She is excited to see a ray swim by, but then she looks sadly at the spiky carpet of white coral all around her. It is mostly dead. Coral reefs are the rainforests of the sea and are supposed to be full of color and life. Orange, purple, and pink staghorn corals help create reefs in shallow waters, providing food and shelter to plants and other animals. But as climate change warms the oceans, the bright colors are fading because corals are dying. The snorkeler searches for fish in this area, but not many live here anymore. Facts: Staghorn coral is found in the Caribbean Sea, parts of the Gulf of Mexico, and in the waters of Southeast Asia and the Australian Great Barrier Reef. This coral is important in creating reefs, which support a quarter of all marine life. Coral is an animal. It doesn't make its own food. Danger! Listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Climate change makes oceans too warm. Destroyed by storms and extreme weather, also related to climate change. Killed by coral disease, and harmed by marine pollution. Download the Coral Reef Resource Pack for your teacher. The link is in the description. Meet the Peacock Tarantula. A small, hairy story. Crawling among piles of wood on an Indian freight train, a bright blue spider is on the move. The conductor has no idea that a rare hairy spider is aboard. Arriving at the timber yard, the wood and this surprising passenger are unloaded. When they are young, peacock tarantulas are lavender, but as they grow, their color deepens to a vibrant metallic blue. With venom-filled fangs, this rare spider will defend its tiny dark home in a tree. As the train pulls away, this one spins a funnel-shaped web by the logs in the yard. Facts: the peacock tarantula lives in a small area of forests in central southern India. It is very aggressive, and its venom can cause humans a lot of pain. When it molts, it lies on its back with its legs in the air and looks like it's dead. Females live for about 12 years, up to 4 times longer than males. Danger! Listed as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Human destruction of its forest habitat and over-harvesting of firewood from its forest habitat. Plant a tree to help forest habitats. The link is in the description. Meet the Largetooth Sawfish. A sharp story. This Largetooth Sawfish's bizarre snout is hopelessly tangled in a fishing net. It was looking for food on the muddy sea floor when it got stuck. But the fishermen in the boat above are unaware of the struggle of the huge, shark-like ray far below the surface. Using its strange saw, this gigantic ray defends itself from sharks and other predators when it hunts at night. But the saw can also get it into trouble. The fishermen will cut it free when they find it in the net. Facts: the Largetooth Sawfish lives in fresh and marine waters, particularly around Australia. It can live up to 80 years. Its mouth is under the front part of its body and is full of tiny teeth. Newborn pups have fully formed saws covered in sheaths that eventually disintegrate and fall off. Danger! Listed as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List. Easily trapped in fishing gear. Hunted for its saw nose, meat, skin for leather, and fins for soup. Loss of habitat due to coastal development. Share a sawfish infographic with your class. The link is in the description. Meet the Bonobo, a love story. A group of bonobos are cuddling one another by the river, deep in the jungle. Treading carefully on the forest floor, a local park ranger creeps close enough to count these rare apes. Like chimpanzees, bonobos are close relatives of humans, but they are different from chimps, which are led by males and can be violent or aggressive. Bonobos are led by females and work out problems with physical affection. They make close friendships and spend time together in large groups. Watching baby bonobos play by the water, the ranger is reminded of her own children at home. Facts: the bonobo lives in forests near rivers only in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Africa. It was the last of the big apes to be discovered. Like chimpanzees, female bonobos give birth every 5 to 6 years. The bonobo is mostly vegetarian, with more than half of its diet made up of fruit. Danger! Listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List. Poached for meat, forest habitat cut down to grow crops, wars and other human fighting surrounding its habitat. Explore an interactive map to learn more about where bonobos live. The link is in the description. Meet the giant panda. A good news story. Giant highways cut through the thick bamboo forests that are home to the giant pandas. Pandas are shy, and finding a mate can be difficult. Forests are being divided by roads and cut down for farmland, but in these remote places, workers are now digging tunnels so the bears can safely cross roads. Pandas eat only bamboo, so they are fussy about where they live. Giant pandas are often isolated. Panda tunnels help bears find another mate. This creates new hope for these solitary animals. Facts: giant pandas do everything slowly because bamboo doesn't provide much nutrition. The giant panda lives in bamboo forests in the mountains of western China. If a panda has 2 cubs, it will usually take care of only one of them. Danger! Changed from endangered to vulnerable on the IUCN Red List due to conservation efforts, but action is still needed. Bamboo forests cut down for farmland, struggles to find a mate in isolated forests, starvation because bamboo plants blossom and then die about every 60 years. Read and find out how to help. The link is in the description. The story of the IUCN Red List. In 1933, an American conservationist named John C. Phillips was worried about the number of rare animals, plants, and fungi threatened with extinction, so he began to make a list. The list was adopted by a big new international organization called the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, and in 1964 it became the IUCN Red List, a global list of rare animals, plants, and fungi. IUCN frequently published red data books about mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, flowering plants, and freshwater fish. and the Red Book, Wildlife in Danger, was published in 1969. The IUCN's Amazing Species campaign raises awareness about the Red List, which includes 88,000 species. The IUCN Red List is updated every year and aims to collect data about 160,000 species by 2020. There are 8.7 million known species on Earth. The IUCN Red List has a goal to provide information and analysis on the status, trends, and threats to species to inform and catalyze action for biodiversity conservation. Homo sapiens, or humans, were assessed in 2008 and added to the list under the category Least Concern. To find out more, visit IUCNRedList.org or find the link in the description. Reading together was lots of fun. Thank you. Let me know what you thought of this story in the comments below. Give me a like and don't forget to hit subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Ms.Carmina Official. See you again soon. Bye.